Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. This is Rich again, back for your third and final video blog of the night for Monday, August 23rd, 2015, around 7:36 in the evening, Billerica, Massachusetts. Sun's going down. Still, it was like on and off sun and clouds today, very muggy and stuff. Could be like this the rest of the week and stuff. And that could be the last dog days of August before the cooler weather starts coming in. Some of the leaves are falling right now. Some news to report: the Phoenix Suns are going to induct Steve Nash into the Ring of Honor. Wouldn't be surprised if number 13 is retired by the team in the near future. Entertainment Tonight is moving to Fox 25 in Boston beginning September 7 at 7 p.m. For about 3 years, from 1987 through 1990, Fox 25 in Boston carried Entertainment Tonight, but this was the years that John Test and Mary Hart hosted it, and the Entertainment Tonight's kind of now banished to WBIN 50 in like Derry, New Hampshire. Now it's not shown on a Boston station. WSBK MyTV 38 lost the rights to it last year, and signs point to Joe Biden running for president in 2016. Joe Biden's the vice president of the United States, but there's also he secretly met with U.S. Senator from Massachusetts, Elizabeth Warren. So all signs point to Joe Biden entering the Democratic field, which is just weak with Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders and stuff. So better beware, Bernie Sanders and Hillary Clinton, what you're going to do when Biden mania runs wild on you. And that's about it on that. Well, the third and final video blog subject of the night is personality profile. Tonight's personality profile is about the owner of the WWE and the godfather of sports entertainment. I'm talking about Vincent Kennedy McMahon. Vincent Kennedy McMahon has owned the WWE for over 30 years. He made professional wrestling from a regional entertainment to a worldwide leader in sports and entertainment. He made billions and billions of dollars with the WWE brand, branching sports entertainment and creating lots of wrestling stars. Vince was born in Pinehurst, North Carolina. His father was Vincent James McMahon, wrestling promoter and the founder of the WWF. And Vince has one older brother, Rodney, and his mother's name's Victoria. When Vince was just a little boy, Vince Sr. and his wife Victoria split up. Vince took Rodney, and Vince Jr. was left with his mother Victoria, and Vince lived with stepfather after stepfather, which abused Vince and his mother Victoria. Vince went to military school and stuff, and he was pretty good at that. He graduated from military school 1964 for high school. He went to the same military school that future WWE Hall of Famer Luscious Johnny Valiant, or Luscious Johnny V, went to. And Vince went to East Carolina University. He got a business degree and stuff. He met his future wife Linda in church in 1966. They got married in 1968. Vince was briefly a salesman. He actually sold ice cream and stuff, and Vince wanted to get into the pro wrestling business. He wanted to be a wrestler, but his father, Vince Sr., said, "No way, you're not going to be a wrestler and stuff." And Vince actually got into the wrestling business, like 1968, becoming an arena announcer for WWE programming and stuff. 1971, he became the play-by-play voice of the WWE for Championship Wrestling and All-Star Wrestling, and he was the voice of the WWE for close to 28 years. And also in 1971, Vince got his first taste of promoting wrestling. He promoted the Bangor area of the WWF, which was the northernmost area of the WWF. he was so successful doing that. And then in the late 70s, while Vince was announcing, he also owned the Cape Cod Coliseum, and he also owned a minor league hockey team. He promoted rock concerts. He also promoted Evel Knievel stunts over the Grand Canyon and stuff, and some boxing events here and there. And Vince really wanted to buy the WWE off of his father and stuff. But Vince Sr. was reluctant at first. He wanted to actually sell it to either Gorilla Monsoon or Arnold Skolin, but Vince got a plan to buy it with his wife Linda. They formed a company called Titan Sports. And in 1982, Vince Sr. sold the WWE to Vince McMahon, and Vince had this plan. He was going to turn the WWE from regional territory in the northeast part of the United States to a world. He was going to go nationwide and stuff. He was going to swallow up all the other regional territories like Mid-Atlantic and Championship Wrestling from Florida, AWA, World Class Championship Wrestling, Portland, and all the others. And Vince took many of those territories' top stars and stuff like that, and he turned wrestling from kind of a out of the smoky halls to major arenas and stuff. And he created so many wrestling stars over the years like Hulk Hogan, Rowdy Piper. He also created Macho Man Randy Savage, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Undertaker, The Rock, Triple H, and so many others. And he also got many of the professional wrestlers movie deals and acting deals on television shows, and he marketed them. They had likenesses up on t-shirts and action figure dolls and everything you could name. They were licensing fees for the WWE. They also had their own cartoon and stuff, and they had lots of wrestling movies and stuff like that. And Vince basically kind of destroyed the territory system in wrestling because he was offering lots and lots of money to these wrestlers and stuff, and they would travel all over the United States. And also the television production of the shows were first class and stuff. And Vince McMahon was also doubling as an announcer and stuff, and he was doing great business. WWE was making millions and millions of dollars for years and years in the 80s and the early 90s. But something almost destroyed that thing in the wrestling business: steroids. In 1989, steroids became illegal in the United States. And many of the professional wrestlers, especially in the WWE, were taking those steroids and stuff like that. In 1991, they indicted Dr. George Zayana, who was actually a ring doctor for WWE events in Pennsylvania in the late 70s and early 80s. Eventually, Vince McMahon got indicted for distributing of steroids, and if he got convicted, he would spend a lot of time in jail, and the WWE would have probably been shut down. Vince had a lot of team of lawyers and stuff. He was eventually acquitted and stuff, but the trial took lots and lots of money from Vince McMahon. He couldn't invest in the wrestling product, and for a few years, WWE's profits shrank down to almost nothing. They almost went out of business in 1995, and they had a new competitor, WCW, with Turner's Money and stuff. And for a few years it was touch and go. But Vince McMahon bounced back, and soon the WWE was making millions and millions of dollars. And it was the Attitude Era and stuff. And Vince McMahon stepped out of the announce booth and became a character. He became the heel Mr. McMahon character, which was probably one of the top 5 heels of all time. He feuded with Stone Cold Steve Austin the most. They had a 2-year feud. He also feuded with The Rock, The Undertaker, and so many others. And Vince McMahon actually wrestled from time to time, and it was pretty good for a guy who was 53 years old to step in the ring for the first time. Vince trains a lot. He's really a freak of bodybuilding and stuff, and he's been been lifting weights for years and years. He's 70 years old. He's still in great shape. He works out every single day. And Vince McMahon's evil heel character, Mr. McMahon, was great and stuff. He said, "No chance in hell, you're fired," and stuff. It was over the top and stuff like that. Probably one of the best heel characters of all time and stuff. And also it's one thing that and he had stooges like Jerry Briscoe and Pat Patterson and Sergeant Slaughter. He had a Kiss My Ass Club, which was pretty funny and stuff. And he feuded from time to time with his family, Shane, Stephanie, and Linda. He should have feuded with Jim Ross. They were teasing that a few times, but I think they never did it because Jim Ross was the voice of the WWE at this time, and they didn't want to have a match between Vince McMahon and Jim Ross because they would have had to have Michael Cole announce, and a lot of people did not like Michael Cole at all at this time and stuff. And but they would have had to do it and stuff unless if they could hire somebody else. But that was a disappointment and stuff. And Vince continued to make this money and stuff like that. And in 1999, WWE went on the stock market and they got more and more money for it. And in 2001, they bought WCW, the only real competition, for only about $4 million. There was basically some contracts and a tape library of WCW, which included Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling and Central States and a few other territories and stuff. And Vince eventually brought out DVDs of classic wrestling, and also eventually he acquired other regional territories libraries like the AWA and Championship Wrestling for Florida and World Class and ECW and Stampede and so many others and stuff. He eventually had a Classics on Demand 24/7, and now he has the WWE Network and stuff. WWE has a book company, a music brand, and they have WWE films and stuff like that. Also, Vince McMahon tried to do things outside of wrestling to be successful, like he promoted a boxing fight in 1988 with Sugar Ray Leonard, which was okay. He also tried to do the World Bodybuilding Federation, which kind of flopped in the early 90s. That was one of the reasons why he got indicted for steroids. He also tried the XFL, which flopped after the first year, and he tried to buy other stuff. There was rumors he was going to buy the Boston Red Sox, but that didn't come to be. He also considered buying other stuff, but that never came to be. And also, they had WWE launched a restaurant called WWE New York in the early 2000s, which was okay, but eventually it flopped and stuff. And Vince is now a billionaire and stuff. He has a house in Goodness, Connecticut, a summer home in Florida, plus he has a big yacht, a WWE airplane, and Vince McMahon's still going strong at the age of 70 and stuff. And Vince McMahon is a humanitarian. He's donated lots and lots of time to charities and stuff, which is pretty good. He's in so many Hall of Fames. He's even in the Boys and Girls Club Alumni Hall of Fame, which is pretty good and stuff. So he's a club member for life. Maybe he'll come down to the Boys and Girls Club of Greater Bel Echo one of these days. That will get everybody happy down there, but you never know. And Vince McMahon is just probably the best of all time for the world of professional wrestling. He is the true icon of professional wrestling. He was good as an announcer, but very great as a heel. One of the best heels ever. Maybe he should have wrestled when he was younger, but his father was totally against it, which you can understand. But if he wrestles again, that'd probably be a comedy match and stuff, but you never know. And that's about it on Vince McMahon. And that's about it on these video blogs. Be back tomorrow, Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. 3 more video blogs are coming your way. First video blog will be about SummerSlam 1997 from East Rutherford, New Jersey at the Meadowlands. Second video blog of the day will be about what I would like to see when a new collective bargaining agreement for Major League Baseball, when the next one comes up in the end of 2016, what I would like to see in it. And the third and final video blog of the night will be Vince McMahon Sr. And lots of great video blogs coming your way in the coming days, weeks, months, years, and millenniums. And coming soon will be the NFL preview and NFL predictions every single week. And like I always say, keep calm. And I'm a Julie Bretton guy. Molly Rosenblatt, a Fox 35 rocks and has nice legs. Amy Swenzy has nice legs and a great smile. And Elizabeth Hart rocks from Local 6. Maybe I could get all those four ladies like as like guests on my video blogs if I could ever do guests, which that's a possibility. You never know. And in the words of Sean Lucha, get out. See you later. Good night.